Hey guys and gals, Demox7643. So, haven't done a video in a long time, and I thought I would do one today just to address Capital Games' lovely decision to take all the skill out of this game. And I'll explain that in a minute, but uh, I stopped playing. I stopped playing. This was enough for me as a skill player to just say, all right, well, this game has turned into Connect 4 now. It is no longer chess. Um, there's simply predetermined outcomes now in between teams. It is by design. CG did not want Galactic Legends to be able to be defeated by other teams, and they actually took measures to actually make sure that happened by bait and switching the public and taking all of their investments that they put their hard-earned resources into and completely devaluing those assets to the point that they're mostly useless for the reason that we geared them. Because this game is, well, at least was, one of the very few mobile games where skill mattered more than anything else. It mattered more than your wallet size. As long as you had the time and the brain, you can beat anybody. Anybody. And, I proved that over time. I mean, I only had one, or at the very end there, two Galactic Legends, and I was beating 3, 4 Galactic Legend people all the time in Grand Arena. I could wipe out tons of them in Territory War. And see, that's where this really, really matters, is once you take the ability for intelligence and knowledge of the skill sets and the abilities of each character and the synergies thereof, and you completely erase what's been there for years. Stuff that, foundational building blocks like Thrawn and General Anakin Skywalker and the like. You take all those and you basically make them useless, and then take situations like a Jedi Master Luke, who could 95% of the time take out a Sith Eternal Emperor with a Jericho modding and a Jericho lineup. Nope, they erased that too. So not only did they mess up the non GL counters, but they actually devalued Jedi Master Luke quite a bit with this latest round of nerfs and changes. And at the same time, they really, really are just aiming it to make it so that Kenobi and especially Executor are darn near unbeatable. And when you do that, all of a sudden, here's what happens. You have a guild, let's say, that has a smattering of players in it that have 2 to 4, maybe even 5 GLs, okay? And that guild says, well, all right, now we're in territory war. And it immediately just becomes a numbers game. That's it. Who has more GLs, who has more executor fleets, and that team will win. That's it. Grand Arena, same thing. It's very, very, very difficult. Now, you can win, right? Like if the other guild makes just a terrible mistake or something in territory war, or they're really bad. But I'm talking at, the higher level of the game, where you're just expected to be able to just get your clean wins without a loss. You know what I mean? And I take out a Padme, a DR, a couple of GLs, a Gas, a General Grievous, and everything else that's on the board or whatever else. You get a couple and then you wipe out 2, 3 fleets and you're good. And that's darn near impossible now because of the way that they changed the game. Executor has a single counter fleet, and it's really not that strong. I mean, it's not as consistent as it could be. You need to invest massive relics in order to do it. And then there is the combination of the fact that you still have all the time that you need to invest in order to be successful at this game. At the higher level, you need to spend a couple of hours a night doing your payouts. Plus, you need to spend 15 to 20 hours on Conquest in order to get that done. And I'm sorry, but this game went from, at most, it took, let's say 12 hours a week. Okay, and that's, paying attention, going quick, and not really falling that far in Fleet Arena. And you go from that to, 20, 30 hours. Nope, sorry. My time is extremely valuable. And I mean, I'm a my professional career, let's just say my hourly wage is worth pretty decent amount of money. So I'm sorry, but this game just went from why am I going to play a game of luck, effectively flipping a coin to win, and spend all this time doing it. I mean, I don't do that. I don't. I play chess. I play billiards. I play games of skill. I played Galaxy of Heroes. This was a game that I could use my skill to just defeat anybody. Really, I mean, I'd go up against anybody. I don't even care. My mods were decent, and I could figure out a way. Sure, I mean, if you get blown away with crazy speeds, there were still ways to solve it with your Galactic Legend counters. Like, for some reason, their Darth Revan was just unbelievable, and everybody was just well modded and crazy, and you couldn't do a mirror. Okay, fine. There are other counters. And at the same time, if you do that, then you take away the GL counters, right? So if you're beating good, high level non GL teams, and you have to use your other good, high level non GL teams, that takes away GL counters, doesn't it? But CG didn't see it that way. They didn't realize that you have to use your complete roster when you're a Dolphin or free to play at this game. You have to use your complete roster in order to succeed. Because, I mean, these people are setting 3-4 GLs on you. You need to be able to kill them all, wipe them out, and still get it clear with more points than they. And it was easy to do. I mean, I'm autistic. It's really easy for me to look at the math and analyze the data and then just come up with the right solution. But there isn't one anymore for the vast majority of this stuff. It has to be solved by a wallet. And even when that happens now, where's the satisfaction? I mean, let's say you're a super whale, right? And let's say you really endorse the changes because you're tired of all of these free-to-play people kicking your butt. Well, all I have to say to that is, learn how to play the game. If you had simply spent the same amount of time that I had with your massive roster, you would have beaten me. But you didn't, because you don't know how to play the game. And so you can spend all this money, and you'll still get your butt kicked, because you didn't know how to play. That's the game the people want. That's the game people have been playing for 5 years. The one where you need to know how to play the game, or else other people will beat you. Imagine that. You need to know the rules of the game and the strategies of the game to win. Imagine that. It's crazy, but now you don't. Now you just need to spend a little bit of money and wait for all of the population to die off. But the game is going to be unhealthy and dead by then. Why? Because, let me ask you this. So you've got a bunch of whales in the ocean. And you've got a bunch of zooplankton, the little free-to-play players. And those whales eat the zooplankton all the time. They always did. They were able to, go ahead and take them out. And so it made it worth it for them to spend money to gain advantage, because all the zooplankton didn't have that advantage and they could just go and eat them. And it was delightful for them. Their spending money actually mattered. They could beat some of them. But at the same time, the high skill level zooplankton could still beat the whales all day long if they did not have the same skill level. But if the whale had the same skill level as the zooplankton with the better roster, they still won. So the problem here is that the zooplankton, the skilled zooplankton, were exposing the bad whales at their game, and the bad whales were getting their butts kicked. And they cried. And so now the game is ruined for all of the talented people that are, the talented whales, I'm sure, are just furious. My buddy Richo and my Fleet Shard, this guy's got everything, 9.6 million GP. He's amazing. And I'm sure he's just pissed. Because here's this meta, he has to constantly change it all the time to let other people through on the Shard, or else he's looked at as being, frustrating or not working with the community. The whales are pissed too, because now there's unbeatable metas and they gotta waste their time and nerf teams or whatever to let their Shard through, or they're the jerk and they block payouts. And, all of this results in less crystals for the population, less free crystals. And then on top of it, the conquest investment of crystals. No, don't play into their nonsense anymore. Stop it. CG doesn't deserve you. CG doesn't. They have bait and switched you so many times. It started with Finn, then it went on to the nerf with Malik, getting the extra patch to stop the Emperor lead from going through. They want you to go ahead and have all the content creators make all the videos to show them how to analyze their data. They don't have a data analysis team there. That's obvious. I mean, they have all the data, yes. They have all the data from everything that we've ever done, and it's taken swgoh.gg to build a tool on top of it to analyze that data, and only then did they realize that they needed to change their game around because, oh my gosh, look at this. All these free-to-play people are having success. So, anyway, that's my 2 coppers. It's really a shame that they ruined it, but now there's really nothing we can do except kind of, well, grab her ankles and do what I did. Walk away. Just say, no, you're not worth my time anymore. You don't deserve me anymore. You can't get away with bait and switching and devaluing everything that we've spent 5 years to build. All of my time in this game, all the effort that I've spent trying to help the free-to-play people go ahead and beat all these silly whales that don't know how to play. Whatever. I mean, all that effort is just wasted now because the game is different. It is specifically designed to waste your time and your money. So, do yourselves a favor. Do what I did and go and delete your mods and wipe out your account. And that's the only way CG will notice, is once you're not playing and your account is dead and they realize that half their player base no longer is going to play this garbage, maybe they might fix it. But I don't have any hope anymore. I really don't. And so, good luck. I really hope that you can find some enjoyment in this game, whatever, but I'm done letting them pull my chain. So I appreciate you guys and gals. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll probably put out some more content on here, music or whatever else. Any new games that I decide to play that are actually worth your time, I'll let you guys and gals know. Thanks so much for coming along with me on the ride this last 5 years. It's been fun. I appreciate every last one of you. Until the next video, Denny out.